announcements, none. Papers have been laid. Questions?
Yes, Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I've given notice of the following private notice question addressed to the Honourable Minister of Land Transport, whether in regard to the Perle de la Savane bus operator, he will, for the benefit of the House, obtain from the National Land Transport Authority information as to the causes of the accident of a bus thereof on Friday 18th July 2025 at Cascavelle, indicating if the bus has been examined and the outcome thereof. B, number of buses thereof involved in accidents on bus routes 520 and 243 since June 2014 to date. And C, number of complaints received from passengers against the bus operator since June 2014 to date, indicating the actions, if any, taken in relation thereto. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, this is the third PNQ addressed to me since I took office. Hence, explaining the importance of the land transport sector, which is responsible to commute the whole population and some 450 passengers daily by bus. Hence, the numerous initiatives which are being envisaged at the level of my ministry to enhance the level of service of buses, and which I will highlight during the course of my reply. At the very outset, I wish to draw the attention of the House and the Honourable Leader of the Opposition that the accident which occurred on 18 July 2025 around noon involves bus number 1620 March 13 of make UD trucks model SP 210 belonging to Pearl Logistics Limited and not Perle de la Savane, as mentioned by the Honourable Leader of the Opposition in his substantive question. From the registration mark, it can be inferred that the bus is just over 12 years old, which is within the operating age of public buses, namely 21 years. The Leader of the Opposition will surely recall that this age limit was increased from 20 to 21 years in 2021, when the Honourable Leader of Opposition himself was a Cabinet Minister. Madam Speaker, without any further ado, let me straight away reply to part A of the question.
Yes.
The accidented vehicle was examined at Auto-Check Vehicle Examination Station for roadworthiness on Wednesday, 16 July 2025. That is only 2 days prior to the accident, by the vehicle tester, Mr. Denou, of the station. So we cannot possibly say that we cannot possibly have a more recent fitness report than this one. 2 days. According to the report from the Center Manager of the Vehicle Examination Center, no technical defect was found during the examination of the same bus. The vehicle passed a brake roller test according to reports submitted by the Vehicle Examination Station. With the axle plate detector apparatus used for the examination of the bus suspensions, visually, no defect was found according to the Center Manager report. Visual examination was also done for the undercarriage of the vehicle, and the report does flag that some defects were observed with regard to the exterior appearance and smoke emission level, which I'm informed by the expert do not impact adversely on the roadworthiness of the vehicle. Certificate of fitness was issued on 17 July 2025, and same is valid up to 16 July 2026. The bus was authorized to run on routes 243, Catrobonne to Chamarel. The MVL is valid up to February 2026. The bus owner, like I said earlier, is Pearl Logistics Limited since 25th of May 2021. According to the NLTA, Pearl Logistics has a fleet of 3 buses. One bus operates along Route 5, which is Bejucap to Catrobonne. one along Route 120, which is Bejucap to Port Louis, and one along Route 243, which is Chamarel to Quatre-Bornes. As regards PL de la Savane, it has a fleet of 4 buses, out of which 3 buses ply along Route 5 and 1 bus operates along Route 243. It is to be highlighted that the certificate of roadworthiness was not issued on the same day of the examination as the licensee failed to produce the public service license issued by the NLTA, commonly known as the bus license, which is mandatory requirement. The bus license was produced on the following day. I'm saying this because if the reader asks for the report, he would see there's a day difference. Was officially of bonne et due forme on the next day, hence explaining the effective days of the roadworthiness, which is delayed by 1 day. As regards the cause of the accident, I am informed by the police that the bus was motoring from the direction of Chamarel and proceeding toward Bambou, reaching at Clarence around 200 meters before the main entrance of Cascavelle Nature Park. Then the driver lost control of the bus, the result of which the bus knocked against a tree on the left side of the road and overturned on its near side. Alcotest was performed on the driver by the ERS personnel and same yielded negative results. Sample of blood test was taken for analysis, and everybody knows that now it's public. 29 passengers were injured, including the driver, and quite seriously so. The said bus has been removed and is being kept at Lagolette Police Station for further investigation. Coming to part B of the question, Madam Speaker, I am informed by the police that 4 accidents occurred along bus route number 5, 120 and 243 since June 2014. Same includes 3 accidents on route 120 and 1 on route 243. Insofar as part C of the question is concerned, the NLTA informed that some complaints have been received from passengers against operation of buses along route 243, which is basically served by Pearl Logistics Limited and PL de la Savane. Madam Speaker, since the Honourable Leader of Opposition has made mention of PL de la Savane, let me inform the House that buses of the said operator are currently not being operated since 14 November 2022. As these vehicles had been prohibited for failing to provide satisfactory service and comply with the conditions of the license by the operator, which is the NLTA, and that was the subject of a cabinet decision by the former government. The minister would be aware, he was in the cabinet at that time. I am informed. This was the subject of a long court case for which judgment was delivered for reinstatement of the buses. Only 5 days ago. On last Thursday, to present the broad parameters of the bus services industry bill, which is surely expected to revamp public land transport landscape for the benefit of the traveling public and in the quest for the modernization of the bus transport system. A lot of emphasis will be placed on technology, which will at long last eliminate subjectiveness in control and monitoring by the regulator. For the first time ever in this budget exercise, a financial provision, and quite a hefty one, I must say, 78 million rupees have been earmarked for implementation of the fleet management system, which through GPSs, Global Positioning System, I've explained many times in Parliament, and a centralized controller system based on the NLTA will allow the real-time monitoring for all 2,000 buses plying on our roads daily. The legislation will empower us to also install cameras in the buses. We are also envisaging, Madam Speaker, to fit each and every bus, if we have the funds, of course, with a dash cam, which will provide invaluable information on driver behavior and circumstances of accident. That is normally placed on where the driver sits, on the dashboard. On a related note, we are also contemplating the implementation of the passenger information network that seeks to give the traveling public real-time information on the movement of buses, including expected time of arrival. This will significantly improve commuters' traveling experience and reduce considerably stress related to bus journeys. The Bus Services Bill will bring in its margin a code of conduct for bus drivers, conductors, stand regulators, as well as passengers, and also the owners. The House and the population will also recall that only 4 days ago, the Cabinet of Ministers has given to my ministry the green light to give drafting instructions to the Attorney General's office for the preparation of an improved version of the penalty point system, which this time around will be more stringent as it contains more than 30 offences as compared to 21 previously, because over the last 10 years, the number of accidents have increased significantly. We are currently waiting for the final report for the police as to the real cause of the accident, which is a subject of the question. But, Madam Speaker, as a concluding note, I wish to give the assurance to the House and the population that the safety and security of passengers and road users are utmost important for this government, and in particular to the Prime Minister, because many a time he talks about road safety to me. There will be no cover-up in this particular accident or any other accident, for that matter. Whomsoever is responsible for any accident will have to bear the consequences of his action as per the law. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Yes, your first supplementary question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I myself has complained against buses operating on those routes as far back as 2018, when I was in many of that constituency, that is constituency number 14. Will the Honourable Minister inform the House, even though he has said that a test certificate was delivered for that bus, will he inform the House whether he is aware that the mechanic who examined the bus had informed the owner of the existence of several failures on that bus which had to be corrected? If he is aware, will he therefore at least meet that person to listen to his version?
1 minute. You mean before he went for the test?
Yes, Madam.
Okay.
Madam Speaker, this confirms what the Honourable Leader of the Opposition is saying. Before the test and in between the test, the company must have surely resolved the problem, because I have a clean certificate from the station, which I can table if he wants to.
Yes, please table. Please table.
So,
yes, your next question, Leader.
The Honourable Minister must be aware of numerous complaints against buses on those three, operating on those three routes, that is 520 and 243, especially with regard to overspeeding. Can you inform the House of actions that are being envisaged to reduce overspeeding along those three routes?
Speaker, speeding is not the domain of my ministry. It's a domain of the police, because although Road Traffic Act is under my ministry, implementation of measures contained therein rests with the police. It's the owner of the police. But I can tell the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, like I explained just now, we are using technology. If a bus happens to overspeed, on the screen of the NLTA with the GPS, we could detect if the bus is overspeeding. It does happen sometimes, but buses try to overtake their counterparts so as to catch passenger or the next bus stop. It does happen. This is a phenomenon that not only happens on this route, but island-wide. That is why we are coming with bold measures to address this issue, which is a road safety concern.
Yes, Leader of the Opposition.
May I ask the Honourable Minister whether he is aware that the licensee for that bus has been called several times by the National Land Transport Authority and has been found to be not a fit and proper person to hold a license?
Does your question pertain to Pearl Logistics Limited or Pearl de la Savane Limited? Pearl Logistics Limited? No? My officers are telling me that no formal complaints have been lodged against the company.
Because your original leader of the opposition,
Yes.
remember your original question was not...
With regard to Pearl de la Savane, can the minister confirm to the House whether complaints have been made for non-payment of fees to its respective cooperative, that is the Quatre Bornes Bus Cooperative Society?
Madam,
Minister, just reply. Just reply.
Madam Speaker, I have explained at length to the Honourable Leader of Opposition that the subject of his question relating to that accident does not pertain to Pearl de la Savane Limited, but instead Pearl Logistics Limited, which is a totally different entity. So how does he expect me to have information on Pearl de la Savane?
Why I expect that, Honourable Minister? Can you confirm whether when you met captain of the bus industries 5 days ago, they made representations to you with regard to a sum of 350,000 rupees owed by Pearl de la Savane, and whether he's aware that complaints have also been filed at the NLTA against the same company?
Okay, Madam Speaker,
Let the minister reply, please.
it would appear that
He's
the
doing
Honourable...
very well. Yes.
It would appear that the Honourable Leader of the Opposition has a fixation on Pearl de la Savane, which is totally wrong because this is not the subject of your question. But I will reply to you. My officers, all the officers are here. I don't recall anyone standing up and making a complaint formally against Pearl de la Savane during that said meeting. Otherwise, I would have recalled because I answered all the questions myself.
One more question?
Yeah, may I ask the Honourable Minister whether he will consider starting an inquiry on this company and proceed to a full assessment of their vehicles and staff so as not to endanger the lives of innocent passengers?
You mean of Pearl de la Savane? Both companies, both companies.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, Madam, as regards Pearl Logistics Limited, there is a police inquiry on the accident which we are awaited, like I've said extensively during the reply. As regards Pearl de la Savane, he's targeting someone in the house, we all know. There has been a court ruling on this company, and this court ruling allowed the company to go back on the road. So what am I going to do?
The Honourable Minister gave assurance to the House that there will be no cover-up with regard to any inquiry regarding those two companies. Can you confirm again what he just stated?
I concluded by saying this. Let me tell.
Let the minister speak, please. Yes, Minister.
Yeah, let me tell the Honourable Leader of the Opposition. I did take the undertaking earlier. The subject matter that the Prime Minister talks to me more often in my ministry is regards to road safety. So we are leaving no stones unturned, Madam, to enhance road safety in Mauritius. And the Cabinet decision of last Friday, only after 8 months, approving that we apply, that we give drafting instruction to the Attorney General to come forward with legislation on penalty point system with more than 30 offences. I think now it's about 34. Bears testimony as compared to 21 before, bears testimony to our commitment to road safety.
The question, one moment, question was about cover-up. You just answer that question.
Madam, it is
Yes.
in my substantive reply.
Yeah, I
no
know.
cover-up will be.
Yeah, if there is cover-up, you'll come back with another question.
That was my question, Madam Speaker. I've got a last question. Can the Honourable Minister inform the House how will his ministry remedy to to the lack of buses in the western region of the country, particularly from Beach Cup.
Yeah, Madam, over the last 10 years, this land transport sector has been totally neglected. Totally neglected.
Okay.
Now we are doing our level best, including starting with a holistic survey by the NLTA. And in a few days' time, the Prime Minister and myself, we will be inaugurating 100 buses, which is given to us by Government of India, electric buses. This will be very useful in trying to address the problem island-wide. Thank you.
Thank you. One moment. Members, that's the end of it. I have a problem. I can't see my brief. Will you please give me a brief? I think there are so many papers today. He just lost his brief. There are so many papers today. I must have left it, or I don't know. Anyway, let's carry on. Now we've finished with the PNQ. We will start with PQ's address to the PMQT. Prime Minister, honourable members, the table has been advised that PQB 804 will be replied by the Honourable Prime Minister, time permitting. PQB 779 will be replied by the Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Regional Integration and International Trade. Honourable Second Member for Maibou Plaine Magnan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B768.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Chief Executive Officer of Airport Terminal Operations Limited that the car park at the Sir Sagar Ramgoolam International Airport are the total of 1,562 parking slots located as follows. The old terminal has 670 slots and the new terminal 892 slots. 1,207 of these parking slots are dedicated to the public, whilst the remaining 355 are used by airport stakeholders. Following complaints received from members of the public with respect to the lack of parking spaces at the new terminal, 2 surveys were conducted by the Airport Terminal Operations Limited on the 5th and the 10th of March 2025 respectively. These surveys have revealed that 35% of the parking slots were occupied by car rental vehicles, thus reducing the availability of parking facilities for the public. The situation becomes particularly chaotic during peak seasons due to insufficient parking spaces. To address this issue, a dedicated parking zone of 144 slots for car rental operators is now operational at the old terminal car park since May of this year. Consequently, this decision has significantly helped to eliminate the persisting problem of parking available for the general public near the new terminal building. Since these changes have been made, no complaints have been received. With regard to Part A of the question, I'm informed by the Chief Executive Officer that there are now already adequate parking spaces, roads and exit gates at the airport. It is therefore not envisaged to provide additional facilities at this point. As regards Part B of the question, I'm informed that the 670 parking slots at the old terminals have always been operational. As stated, 144 slots are dedicated for car rental operators, and the remaining 526 are meant for the general public. Adequate directional signage is available to guide car park users through and out of the old terminal parking. Madam Speaker, I'm further informed that following an open national international bidding exercise, a contract was awarded on the 12th of August 2024 to VD Tech Distributors Limited for the sum of $1,421,493, excluding VAT, dollars, which would make around 66,810,171 rupees at the time, for the implementation of a smart car park management solution project in 2 phases. This project is expected to smoothen the traffic flow and improve parking experience at the airport. Phase 1 of the project, which is presently being implemented, is expected to be operational in December of this year. I also wish to inform the House that the Board of Airport Terminals Operations Limited did not deem it important to appoint a consultant to ascertain that the works undertaken is in compliance with the terms of the contract. Secondly, another disturbing fact is that one of the members of the bid evaluation committee is the very person who is now certifying the quality of the works prior to the payment. That is MSM. This matter has been referred to the Financial Crimes Commission.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, the Honourable Prime Minister. Just as a suggestion, perhaps to consider to put automatic paying tickets for parking to reduce traffic at the airport. I got a supplementary question. Is the Prime Minister aware that daily fighting and discussion among taxi operators at the SSR airport have been reported several times at the police station of the SSR airport? No action have been taken. Will an investigation be initiated to ensure the safety of our citizens at the airport?
I'm not aware that there has been no investigation, but I'll certainly transmit that to the airports authority.
Thank you. Yes, Honourable Third Member for Beaubassin, Petite Rivière.
769, please.
Madam Speaker, in the budget speech 2025-2026, I announced that the rates of excise duty on vehicles would be increased. This budgetary measure was implemented through a financial resolution passed on the day of the budget, that is the 5th of June 2025. This makes the increase in the rates of excise duty effective as from the 6th of June 2025. In a spirit of fairness, we provided a transitional period whereby a vehicle continued to be subject to the old excise rate as was applicable, that is, prior to the 6th of June 2025, provided that, first, the vehicle has been issued with an import permit or has been shipped or placed in a bonded warehouse before the 6th of June 2025, and there are 2 conditions, and it was cleared from the customs on or before the 30th of June 2025. Accordingly, after the transitional period, that is from the 1st of July 2025, all vehicles cleared from customs are being subjected to the new excise rates. Representations have been received from dealers of both new and second-hand imported motor vehicles through their respective associations. The Motor Vehicle Dealers Association, which represents dealers of new imported motor vehicles, requested in writing that the cut-off date of 30th of June 2025 for the transitional period be extended by 6 months, that is to 31st of December 2025. The Dealers in Imported Vehicles Associations, which represents second-hand imported vehicles, requested for a meeting with government to discuss issues that they had on the transitional provision or the new tax rate on hybrid vehicles. Officers of the Ministry of Finance held a meeting on the 25th of June 2025 with representatives of the Dealers in Imported Vehicles Association, namely the chairperson and 2 members. And the latter made the following proposals. 1, to extend the cut-off date of 30th of June 2025 to 30th of September 2025 for cars already shipped as well as those not yet shipped but for which an import permit had already been obtained before the 6th of June 2025. Secondly, they asked that motor vehicles in respect of which applications for import permit have been made on the 5th of June 2025, that is on budget day, be subjected to the old rate of excise duty. And third, to extend the cut-off date of 30th of June 2025 to 15th of July 2025 for cars in bonded showrooms or warehouses due to administrative bottlenecks following a surge in the number of vehicles requiring clearance at the level of various government agencies. Madam Speaker, regards to the extension of the cut-off date, I wish to highlight that the two associations had requested different extension dates. Entertaining the request would have accentuated the alarming rate of increase in vehicles on the road and defeated the very purpose of introducing that measure. Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Mauritius Revenue Authority that during the transitional period which we extended, which lasted for 25 days, a total of 6,703 cars, of which 4,093 were new and 2,610 imported second-hand cars were cleared by the Customs Department under the old rates of excise duty. I think these figures speak for themselves, Madam Speaker. The number of cars cleared during the transitional period represents more than 3 times the average monthly import in 2024, which was 2,020 cars. In fact, the number of cars cleared during the 25 days of the transitional period represents nearly 30% of the total number of imported cars in 2024. Total number. It is evident, therefore, that dealers in new and imported motor vehicles have been able to take full advantage of the transitional period. During the month of June 2025, imports of motor vehicles led to a total outflow of foreign currencies of around $200 million. This has impacted negatively on the trade deficit as well as the availability of foreign currencies on the forex market. Therefore, government does not intend to extend the cut-off date for the transitional period.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Madame la Présidente.
Yes.
Le Premier ministre peut-il expliquer à la Chambre pourquoi, même s'il a, dans sa réponse, donné beaucoup d'explications, un délai aussi court de seulement 24 jours qui a été imposé pour tout finaliser? Donc, alors qu'il faut entre 6 et 8 semaines pour un bateau pour arriver à Maurice, que ce soit depuis le Japon ou l'Angleterre, par exemple.
I must say, Madam Speaker, there were discussions, and many people wanted not to have a transitional period at all. The cut-off date had to be on the budget day, that is the next day, 6th of June. But we decided to give some time. But as I mentioned, Madam Speaker, look at the number of cars that were imported during that short period and how much government actually lost. But that's the way it is.
Madame la Présidente.
Oui, allez-y.
Donc, comme je l'ai dit, vu le temps que prennent les bateaux pour arriver à Port-Louis, le Premier ministre peut-il, malgré tout ce qu'il a dit, j'ai bien compris, peut-il envisager d'accorder un délai raisonnable de 92 jours aux importateurs, comme cela avait été le cas pour une transaction similaire en 2016 à travers le GN 165 de 2016, en fait?
In our case, the answer is no.
Très bien. Next question, Honourable Second Member for Rivière des Anguilles, Souillac.
Question B770, please.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Financial Crimes Commission that there is an ongoing investigation on the allegations with respect to the acquisition of immovable properties of the former Prime Minister at Angus Road. With regard to Part A of the question, this inquiry is still going on at the FCC, and therefore it would not be available to give further information on that. But as regards Part B of the question, the straight answer is yes. The House may wish to recall that in June 2014, the Attorney General's Office had made a request for mutual legal assistance to the UK authorities on the very subject. This request had been made specifically to trace the money trail in this very matter. However, soon after the MSM-led coalition came to power in December 2014, the then Attorney General, Mr. Ravi Yerigadu, had in early 2015 advised the defunct ICAC that the MSM-led government did not wish to pursue the request for mutual legal assistance with the UK authorities. That is plainly interference in an inquiry. It is deeply troubling, Madam Speaker, that such a crucial avenue of international cooperation was deliberately shut down. This only reinforces the concerns about how politically sensitive matters were handled, or rather mishandled, in the past 10 years by the former MSM-led government. Instead of supporting the search for truth, Steps were allegedly taken to block investigations, to kill investigations, in fact. We, on the other hand, are committed to institutional integrity, accountability, and the proper functioning of the judicial process.
Yes? Yes, your supplementary?
Thank you. But the Honorable Prime Minister must acknowledge that the public demands clear and tangible outcomes from such inquiry. Can he give assurance to this House that this will be the case?
I can give the total assurance 100,000% that this will be the case. No cover-up, nobody will be spared, the truth will have to prevail.
Yes. The Honourable Third Member for Port Louis North and Motailon.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. PQ B771, please.
Madam Speaker, regarding to part A of the question, I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that 7 vehicles from the police carpool were allocated to the former Commissioner of Police during his tenure of office, 7 years, 7. Even I don't have 7. From the 3rd of August 2021 to the 12th of November 2024. In respects to part A1 and 2 of the question, I'm tabling the information required by the Honourable Member. With regard to part A3 of the question, I'm informed that there is an ongoing investigation on this matter. With regards to part B1, 2, and 3 of the question, I'm further informed by the Commissioner of Police that during the tenure of Mr. Anil Kumar Dip, former Commissioner of Police, no vehicle was specifically acquired by the government for his use, although in accordance with the recommendation of the 2021 PRB report, the Commissioner of Police may either be allocated a government vehicle within the prescribed ceiling value for both official and private use, or opt for a 100% duty exemption for a car up to 2,000 cc with relevant allowances. Upon his retirement on the 13th of November 2024, Mr. Anil Kumar Dip acquired a car from the VIP carpool of make Porsche model Macan for the sum of 415,140 rupees, which was delivered to him on the 16th of November 2024.
Yes, Mr. Kazan, you're all right? Yes? Good. The Honourable Fourth Member for Rodrigues.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B772.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Civil Status Division that the celebration of civil marriages in Rodrigues, including those between a Rodriguan and a foreign national, as well as between 2 foreign nationals, is governed by the Civil Status Act, which applies across the Republic of Mauritius. As regards to the publication procedure for marriages involving a non-citizen to a citizen, I'm informed that A, both persons must appear in person at the Central Civil Status Office to submit a joint application for publication along with all the mandatory documents. 2, upon verification and acceptance of the documents, the Civil Status Officer proceeds with the publication of the intended marriage at the Central Civil Status Office, the Civil Status Office of the district where each party has resided for at least 7 days, and the Civil Status Office of the district where the marriage is meant to take place. The publication notice is affixed in the respective offices for a period of 30 consecutive days. It is to be noted that the civil marriage cannot be celebrated during that period of publication, that is 30 days. Moreover, during a 30-day publication period, any person may lodge a notice of objection to the marriage with the registrar. And if no objection is received, or if any objection is overruled, the marriage may then be celebrated within a period of 3 months. With regard, Madam Speaker, with regard to marriages between 2 non-citizens, I'm informed that the procedure is as follows. A, an application for publication of the intended marriage, along with all the required documents, must be submitted to the Central Civil Status Office, either via email or through a registered wedding coordinator, at least 1 month prior to the intended day of the celebration, to allow for the necessary verification and clearance from the Passport and Immigration Office. B, therefore, upon arrival in Mauritius, both parties must report in person to the Central Civil Status Office for verification of the original documents. C, once the documents have been verified and approved, the parties proceed to the civil status office of the district where the marriage is meant to be celebrated to complete the publication procedures, and D, the civil marriage may then be celebrated on the day immediately following the day of publication. As for Rodriguez citizens intended to marry a foreign citizen, or for two foreign citizens to marry in Rodriguez, they have to follow the process in Mauritius, as it is in Mauritius, as described above, and therefore proceed to Rodriguez for the celebration of the civil marriage.
Yes, your supplementary?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the Honourable Prime Minister for his reply. Some years back, I understand that the procedures were done in Rodriguez. Can the Prime Minister inform the House if he will consider that this resume as it was before?
I must say I didn't quite understand the question.
He
You want a
said-
different procedure for Rodriguez?
Yes, he said, will you accept to go back to the previous procedure when it was done in Rodriguez?
We'll have to look into that.
Yes, I think so. What is interesting is that Mauritius is not Gretna Green. You can't just go and get married. You need publication. Okay. I think now we've reached the second member for Maïbo Plaine Magnan, Mr. Apollo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B773.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that on the 24th of September 2024, at around 19:20 hours, Mr. Gigi reported to the police that earlier, at about 1700 hours, he was in the company of 5 persons, and they were peacefully demonstrating on the pavement near the new social living development housing units at Résidence Malherbe. All 6 individuals were wearing white T-shirts bearing the inscription, No Adil Piti Mama, and were holding a banner in which was written, No Adil Piti Mama et rends-nous la terre. The House may wish to recall that the deal Piti Mama pertained to a case of potential conflict of interest, given that it involved a transfer of a 60-year-old lease for a plot of land in Port Louis. At one point during the demonstration, 4 individuals known to the declarant approached the group, pushed them, forcibly took the banner and tore it, and then uttered offensive words directed at them. I'm further informed, Madam Speaker, by the Commissioner of Police that on the 27th of 2024, that is 3 months after the incident, the case was referred to the Central Criminal Investigation Department for further investigation. During the course of the inquiry, police recorded statements from the complainant, the 5 individuals who were with him at the material time, and 4 of the police officers who were on duty thereat. This inquiry is still ongoing. So far, no person has been arrested.
Yes, Mr. Apollo, yes. All right, this honourable third member for Port Louis North and Montagne, Mr. Cascavelle.
B774, please.
Madam Speaker, the Citizen Support Portal, CSP, which was launched in April 2017, is a digital platform that allows citizens to register their complaints, queries, and suggestions related to government services. Each registered complaint is allocated a ticket number. At the back end of the portal, the CSP connects 583 ministries, departments, local authorities, parastatal bodies, and some state-owned companies for the purpose of resolving the complaints and challenging the suggestions and queries. Madam Speaker, in regard to Part A of the question, when a citizen registered a ticket through the website or a mobile app, it is automatically challenged to the CAB nearest to his residence. The citizen support officer posted there reviews the case and, where possible, addresses the problem. If the issue requires support from any ministry or department or parastatal body, it requires then the CSO transfer the ticket directly on the system to the desk officer or the focal point designated by the organization concerned. It is the responsibility of the organization to resolve the ticket within different time frame set by them and to inform the compliant accordingly. The focal point analyzes and monitors all the tickets which have been created within the organizations and its subsidiary departments and parastatal bodies. The CSU also conducts an overall monitoring of tickets registered on a regular basis to identify recurring and systemic issues and provide ministry with evidence-based insights for performance monitoring, policy and service improvement. Madam Speaker, in regard to Part B of the question, I'm informed that as of 24th of July 2025, 14 state-owned enterprises under the aegis of various ministries have been included into the CSU software ecosystem and data analytics dashboard. Other state-owned enterprises, statutory bodies, and parastatal organizations are being encouraged to register on the portal. It will be in the public interest that all such bodies be taken on board of the CSU portal.
Thank you. Yes. The Honourable Second Member for Audrey, Mr. Francois.
Thank you very much. B/775.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed that a bill entitled Jago Garcia Military Base and British Indian Ocean Territory Bill was presented to the UK House of Commons and read for the first time on the 15th of July 2025. The purpose of the bill is inter alia to provide for the dissolution of the so-called British Indian Ocean Territory. As per the press release recently issued by the British High Commission, Chagosian's British citizenship remains unaffected by the domestic law enacted by the UK Parliament, to give effect, that is, to the agreement between Mauritius and the UK concerning the Chagos archipelago, including Jago Garcia. Madam Speaker, nothing in this agreement between Mauritius and the UK on the Chagos archipelago purports to adversely affect any citizenship rights that any Chagosians may be entitled to under the UK citizenship or nationality laws. For the avoidance of any doubt, I wish to recall that Mauritius has never recognized the so-called British Indian Ocean Territory, which was purportedly created by the UK following this unlawful excision of the Chagos archipelago from the territory of Mauritius prior to its accession to independence.
Yes. It's all right? Yes. The Honourable First Member for Savannah Black River.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes. B/776.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that the Anti-Drug and Smuggling Unit, ATSU, of the Western Division operates under the command of a Superintendent of Police who reports to the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of ATSU. Its office is located at the divisional headquarters in Rosehill. In regards to Part A of the question, the Western Division has 58 police officers of various grades. The team includes supervisory, investigative, and operational personnel. Regarding to Part B of the question, I'm informed that for operational effectiveness, the Western Division is deployed into 5 sub-teams in 36 regions, comprising inter alia Albion, Black River, Beaubassin, Rosehill, and Bamboo. Regard to Part C of the question, I'm informed that a fleet of 15 vehicles is at the disposal of the division. Madam Speaker, I'm also informed that while ATSU sub-teams are assigned specific jurisdiction within the Western Division, they retain the authority to operate island-wise, particularly if there is intelligence about urgent threats.
Yes, one question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In view, like the Prime Minister just said, the area covered, will he consider to bring a new Western Division to the west, a new headquarter or main office to the west?
Yeah, this is the proposal that is being looked at, because when it is at Rosehill, this is the complaint that has been made. They are looking whether it is possible to split. There are, I just said there are subdivisions, but maybe that should be considered.
Okay, happy. The Honourable Second Member for Rivière des Anguilles-Souillac.
Question B777, please.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, on the basis of information gathered so far, Mrs. Sona Ori has served as 1. Commissioner for the Protection of Borrowers for the period 15th May 2015 to 21st of October 2019, drawing a monthly salary of 100,000 rupees, a traveling allowance of 9,000 rupees, and a driver's allowance of 7,000 rupees. Mrs. Sona Ori was reappointed on the 13th of December 2019 with a monthly salary, which was then increased to 120,000 rupees, a traveling allowance which was increased to 9,000 rupees, but with the driver's allowance increased to 8,400 rupees. She resigned on the 27th of February 2020. Second, she served also as a member of the Assessment Review Committee for a period of 3 years, with effect from the 2nd of July 2020, with an all-inclusive monthly allowance of 86,845 rupees and a monthly traveling allowance of 11,500 rupees. Following the PRB report of 2021, her monthly all-inclusive allowance was revised to 96,295 rupees and traveling allowance of 12,000 rupees with effect from the 1st of January 2021 to the 30th of June 2022. The traveling allowance was also increased to 13,200 rupees as from the 1st of July 2020. Mrs. Sona Ori was reappointed as member of the ARC for a further period of 3 years with effect from the 1st of July 2023, and she resigned on the 17th of October 2024. Thirdly, she was a board member of AHL Properties from September 2023 to November 2024, drawing a 10,000 rupees monthly salary as board fees. Fourth, she was also a board member of Lenscope from March 2018 to October 2019, and from March 2020 to November 2024 with a monthly fee of 25,000 rupees. Fifth, she was a board member of BPML Free Port Services Limited from May 2018 to November 2024 for monthly fee for a total fee of
setting up with the names, dates, contract amount, and nature of service. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Can the Honourable Minister inform the House whether proper procedures have been followed in all these activities, and if not, whether an inquiry will be opened?
Time and again we hear about the methodology used by Metro Express Limited, but I can certainly ask the officers, based on the list that I've submitted, to give me a report on the processes followed for the award of these contracts.
Yes. That's it for this morning. I will suspend the sitting for 1.5 hours.